Okay, good afternoon. We are back live on both Twitch and YouTube. Give it up. Okay. All right, so let's get into what is going on since we were gone. So we stopped the stream about a half an hour or so ago. Oops. Bear with me a second here. All right, so AMC, right about where we were when we left it, a little bit, just a little bit higher into the lunch hour on the East Coast, and now we're into the lunch hour on the West Coast. So we left here at, let's see here. Oh, back down to 3 minute. Nice little bounce off the bottom here at 990. Again, prior resistance, prior to that was right around before we left. 1013, 1016, I think I called it right around there. 1016, I know somebody got into it at 1016 or a little bit below. A good size share order. And we came down after that. So hopefully y'all didn't panic and you just kept in it because that is the best way to go. And so we've got a nice little push going here, but the entire market is up also. So we're participating in that as well. The only thing that's down on my screen, I mean, there's a few things down. My Ford is down a little bit, but GameStop is down 492. So it looks like it wants to hang around all day long in these 250s levels, 250 to 268 or so, ranging 250 to 268. So sitting around 260 right now. And let me hide this. Bear with me just a moment here. I'm gonna get the level 2s on AMC up on the screen. And one more box to close. What was that? Nope, I don't need live help. Okay, let me take a quick look at where I'm at on the day. All right, those two accounts are good. Main account, oh, nice. All right, so I'm up a little over 3.6% or so. So that's actually looking pretty good. Let me take a quick look here, and then I'll move this screen over, and we'll look at the level 2s quotes on AMC in just a second. I just need to check my positions. Wow. Only thing I'm down on is my Ford calls for April 16th. I'm down like 225 bucks on those today. But other than that, everything else I have is in the green, which is good. Let me hide the balances here. There we go. And let me minimize and double check, boom, boom, boom. We're good. All right, so here we have AMC. So real quick over here on the bottom of the stream, we've got the S&P 500 heading south just a little bit with the VIX heading up. So on the S&P, we're still up 52 points on the day. The NASDAQ, we are up 341 points on the day. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is currently up 287. We have AMC is up 36 cents, 1022. Again, because I have level 2 quotes, you'll see decimals out to sometimes 3, sometimes 4 places here. And that's because of the reflection of the dark pools that you can't see on Webull or Robinhood or something like that. ENTX went nuts today. I missed it. All right, let's take a look at that one real quick here. ENTX. And I was in hold mode today. I have not actually made any trades today. When I have an update, I tend to let it run, and then I'll take a look at what happens. Tomorrow, will we have a pullback? We'll see. ENTX health technology stock looks good there. Let me take a look at the 1 hour and scroll out a little bit because I know it's going to be big. There we go, huge upside. And again, this was in the pre-market, so you had a lot going on in the pre-market. Back down to 5-minute chart. What time did all that happen? Not at the close, so this had to be in this morning, right? He's up 200%. Entera Bio reports positive. All right, let's see here. Positive interim EB613 phase 2 data for osteoporosis patients. Shares rally. The drug maker said the trial met its primary endpoint. Endpoint is good. With a significant increase in the rate of bone formation. Doesn't talk about anybody dying during the trial. So always a good deal. So yeah, so for osteoporosis as we get old, covering post-menopausal female subjects with osteoporosis or low bone mineral density. So shares rallied more than 330%, pulled back off of here. Looks like there's support building at the 453 level. Again, this is why I have pivots turned on. I don't have to scroll around with my cursor and take a look. 415 right on the open. So ran up in pre-market if you were up at 1 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Got up at 513. Then it opened, ran all the way up to 787. Huge run on that one. But then it turned around and went south from there and is currently off the high about 37%. But still up 191%. A good consolidation phase here. Again, you had a lot of buyers, pure profit taking. This whole channel here is pure profit taking on that stock. So maybe next time. Missing the ride is okay. It also means you didn't lose 37% by buying in too high, right? Okay, so looking at the 3-minute on AMC, here's where we're at for our afternoon update. We got the bulls starting to take control again based off the bottom of 990. I think it hit twice, right? Yeah, it hit 2 times here, about 1024. About a half hour apart from each other. Downslide though. This is definitely a determined down channel. We're breaking through VWAP. Had 1 wick above the at 1043 here. So that was certainly good. Operating on a buy signal about almost an hour or so ago. Yeah, almost an hour ago. It's been in pure buy territory. Caffeine for the afternoon, and shouldn't be any news or anything like that. Again, it's going to head down during the lunchtime hour. Usually not a lot of volume going on there. GameStop supporters fighting shorts, yeah, okay. And GameStop is down 629. Down 629. AMC is up 44 cents. 1029. This looks really good. If we can break this channel here, we may go up to 1040, 1050 or so if we break. It's going to encounter some more resistance here very, very shortly. Let's go down to the 30-second chart, and we're above it. But again, this resistance line here, this 1044, it might be better on a 3-minute. So we're looking to see, does it break this first one here at 1036? And that's kind of what we're looking for, 1036. So now we can go back to the 30-second. Keep an eye on the VIX. The VIX is stabilizing here. The S&P is stabilizing. And let's watch the level 2s. So we're looking for 1040 on a break. But sellers are coming in. Got some greens here. Sellers coming in all less than 1,000 shares. If you take a look at some of these other ones, 1029 got some buys there. 1027 reds. There's some good volume. 5,000, 4,000 shares. 12,000 shares at 1023. Yeah, that's gonna drive it down a little bit. So might head a little bit south here. Maybe. Time to shave my head. He didn't wait. He took my advice. Hold on a second. All right, so good. Good. So looking at the news here, looks like Biden. Thanks for the update on that. I missed that. Looks like he did not wait until tomorrow. This is one of the things I talked about yesterday, really all week, about the bill and into when the Senate finished up their version over the weekend and the House passed their version. Why was he going to wait until Friday? So this is good news that he signed the stimulus bill. So everybody getting $1,400 if you're single, and double that to $2,800, or and finally jointly you'll get some money, and then if you have kids you'll get some money, and the whole thing goes into a big boondoggle that we'll all have to pay back, which is why we buy stocks, so that the taxes that are going to be increased in order to pay for all these stimulus plans over the last year don't kill us. So so good. When will I get my when will my stimulus check come? Sure. Let's see here. Urge vigilance in primetime speech. Primetime? What? Oh, he's doing an evening speech to mark the 1-year anniversary of the U.S. coronavirus pandemic lockdown. Why would you want to mark a 1-year anniversary of a lockdown? That is so. I'm not even clicking on that one. Let's get into this one instead. All right, President Biden originally expects to sign the American Rescue Plan on Friday, but the smart apes basically got him to sign it today. Good. Once he does, IRS is automatically authorized to send a check, direct deposit, or prepaid debit card to millions of Americans who will be eligible for the third and likely final stimulus payment related to the coronavirus pandemic. $2,800 for joint, phases out at $75,000, and $150 filing jointly. Anybody with dependents will receive $1,400 for each one as well. Family of 4, $5,600 for a family of 4. So they're going to start getting those out today, apparently. For weeks now, we're only percentage Americans, assuming buying signs of there we go. I'm not getting it, so my interest in it is purely for. I'm very happy that everybody is getting it, and there's a little calculator there. So okay, good deal. That's good. All right, so again, we're heading back down here a little bit. So it basically ran up to that 50 and 200 average, hit it once, but couldn't sustain it, and now we're back down 1022. So that looks good. Hey, look what we're back to. We're back to this 1015, 1016 support level again, and I'm not sure it's going to be able to hold it. Let's get back to the level 2s. So these are all, what you're looking at here is, this is Street Smart Edge. That's through my brokerage, which is Charles Schwab. They have some of my accounts. And let's see if there's any news that I missed over here. Stocks on the move, stocks on the move, stocks on the move. This is like a big list of everything. I ain't scrolling through that. Schwab has the ugliest news side of stocks. Breaking news. Biden signs the bill. Europe clears Johnson single shot COVID vaccine. That's the one I'm waiting for. I don't qualify for the vaccine where I live, but apparently the monkeys at the San Diego Zoo, the gorillas, they got the vaccine, but apparently some of us still can't get it yet. But I'm not real wild on the Moderna one. I know there was another woman who was in her 30s who died 5 days after her second dose. Her liver failed. They couldn't get her. They could not get her stabilized in Utah. They life flighted her to Murray Hospital, I believe, and unfortunately she passed away. Her father basically said that, or they set up a GoFundMe for her 9-year-old daughter. But the Moderna one and the Pfizer one, I just don't trust that whole let's keep it at 20 below zero in shipping and everything else, and relying on assistants at a hospital that don't care much about their job to keep that stuff ready to go. Johnson & Johnson is the one that I would trust, and but I don't know if you necessarily get a choice. In the state that I live in, they got these phases, and they're still looking at pretty much all the government workers getting it. So if you're a government worker, you'll probably get it. But the Johnson & Johnson one, to me, it's just where my safety factor is. But I'm not there yet. I stream a couple times a day. I have not gone out a whole lot in the last year. I did take 2 flights back to Chicago because my mom passed last year, but it wasn't due to COVID. It was due to cancer, but she lived to be 85 years old. So she died a couple weeks before she would have been 86, and it was time. I was able to kiss her, hug her, say my goodbyes, and it's just a real special moment to be able to do that and know that she was ready to go and she had lived a good full life. And so, but I'm not interested in the COVID vaccine. I guess I'll have to wear a mask when I go to the movies this weekend, right? So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Okay, so what is the yellow in the level 2? Just was a big one go by. Okay, so these are orders. So this is the order book, okay? These are the sells, and these are, you basically have the sells and the buys. Everything over here, all this green right here, this is the level 2. These are actual trades that are happening. So these are live trades, level 2, actual real sales. So look at whatever platform you're using, right now. If whatever bid and ask you're getting, if you're able to buy it at 10.25, that's the real price. If you're able to sell it at 10.24, that's the real price. So these are sales over here, and then these are what people will put in if it goes up there. So this is what they want to sell it at. This is what they want to buy it at. This is what you're able to buy it at. This is what you're able to sell it at. So if I put in an order to sell AMC right now, I can click right here. It throws my unit price at 10.24 up here. I put in my amount of shares, 100 shares, and I still had it on after hours because I haven't made any trades today. I can short the stock, I can sell it, or I can buy it. I have my hotkeys that if I press a button, it automatically sends the order through. I can choose where my order goes. I can choose ARCA, NASDAQ, or I can use Smart. I usually leave it on Smart, and what I do is I get lower fees on Schwab as far as my transaction fees if I help make the market. By make the market means the following. If I put in an order right now to sell at 10.24, they're only selling at 10.23, but if I put in one at 10.25 right here, then I'm helping to make the market, I get less fees. I've got to hope that it goes up that penny. And that's just the way that I roll with most of my orders. I do not do a market order. I have not done a market order to buy or sell something in a couple of years. I don't do limit orders either, which is dangerous. I admit it. And don't do what I do because you're going to lose all your money. This is not financial or tax advice. I did spend some time back in the day working for Merrill Lynch and Prudential Securities, so I know a little bit about what I'm doing. But if you follow me, you're going to lose all your money and you're going to go broke. Not financial advice. All right, so AMC right now, 10.21 is what we're looking at. You have the quote up here of 37 cents, 10.22, 10.21. You'll see decimal points over here. Those represent the gray area, which is the dark pools. These are your institutions and your money and your money markets. So that's basically what those are there. Anything red in here is a sale. So these are orders. So looking at the order book, if I can click on this and I can say, what is the price that people are hoping it goes down to? Look at this, 46,000 shares at 9.80. So somebody wants to sell 46,000 shares at 9.80. Somebody wants to sell 17,000 shares at 9.95. And then at 9.90, we got a whole bunch here, $10,000 at 9.90, right around there. Okay. Next group, $10 even, right? $10 even. You know, you're going to see a lot of algorithms that will trade on not only moving averages, but they will trade on the dollars on what I call the evens. The evens will be $10, $9.50, anything with a zero after it. A lot of trades go through, and it's the same thing with options too. So then you say, okay, well, what you know, I'm sorry, these are what people want to buy it at. I misspoke. This is what people want to buy it at. Over here is what they want to sell it at. But this is what you're selling for right now. This is the price you're buying at right now. But this is what they want to sell it for. So if you come down here, check this out. You have 135 shares that are being offered to sell at $100,000. 900 shares at $99,800. Okay. So let's scroll up here's the big one, $10,000. 13,000 shares. These are orders. These are real 100% legitimate orders showing up on the level 2s that people have put in to sell their AMC shares at $10,000. That's apes. That's crayons right there. And again, if you have the ability, if you do not want your shares basically lent out, if you're in a cash account, they won't lend them out. If you're in a margin account, if you put a limit order in at a very, very high price, some brokerage firms, it depends on what your agreement says, will not lend those shares out. And they won't lend those shares out to be shorted. So that's an opportunity as well. Further down, let's scroll back up here into the 5,000s. $6,666, 1,104 shares there, 3,400 shares here. So now let's get into the reality side of things, and I'm gonna blow through these. Look at this: $2,000, 20,000 shares, 10,000 shares, 1,000 shares at $1,975, 2,400 at $1,800 a share. All mine are at 1K. That's an ape trying to sell it for that much. Yeah, no kidding, right? He was on the chat yesterday. Yeah, I did some DD. I think it was last week or the week before, I forget. And it was on the Reddit. It was on the Reddit thread, and I talked about just setting the limit orders and what that meant, because there's a lot of people that don't know exactly how that works. And so if you set a limit order, there's a chance that your brokerage firm may not sell it. Okay, look at this, 1 million shares at $1,000. There you go. So you putting your limit order in at $1,000, you and 1,018,335 shares are also set to sell at $1,000. So pretty much if and when it gets up to that, let's just say when, for example, hypothetically speaking, when it gets up to $1,000 a share, look out below. Okay. So there you go. And let's see if we have some other ones here. 4,500 shares at $9.95, 7,300 shares at $9.99. So a lot at $9.99. Now let's get into some reality. $9.50. Again, anything with a zero on it. So you got $9.50, and then 900. We're probably going to get a big bunch as well. Here we go. Here's our 900s. And so look at this right here, folks. You see these two right here that are, it's going to bounce because the bid and ask keep changing on the second. But if you look at the 986,500 shares on the NASDAQ set to sell at $900, 37,237 shares set to sell on ARCA. So I can choose. I can route my order to ARCA or NASDAQ, or I can just use SMART and let the computers and the algorithms decide. I look at the time and sales over here and see what's going on as far as what things are selling at. But then, you're going to see a lot of goofy stuff down here. Let's look at, see if any of these stick out. Oh, there was one. 28,000, 10,000. 10,000 at 23. 25 is probably going to have a lot. Let's see. Not a whole lot. Or 24.50, sorry. Here we go. 24, see? Okay. This right here. These are apes. You see this? 110,000 shares at 24.90. Okay? You have 152,000 shares and 116,000 shares, so you have 278,000 shares listed for sale at $25. Okay, then you've got 110,000 shares at $24.90. Remember what I talked about when I talked about my moving averages. When I set my moving averages, and I'll come back to this in a second. But when I set my moving averages on the daily chart, and if you program these in, if you look at charts, might be a good idea to look at some of this stuff. I do, and let's find a better stock. Not better from, just better from a chart standpoint. Okay. I don't do 50 and 200 moving averages. I do 50 and 180 moving averages. And I call them moving averages. I don't call, a lot of people you'll see on stream, they'll say, hey, these are 50 and 200 day moving averages. Not if you're on a 5-minute chart, bud. If you're on a 5-minute chart, they're 50, and these are 50 and 180 period, or 50 or 180 candle moving averages. And I use these very consistently, and you'll see, this is a 5-minute chart on Boeing. Look what it did. Look at this line. This is long term. Look at this. You can't script this any better. You cannot script this any better on a 50 and a 180 and be able to catch most things. For example, on a 5-minute chart on Boeing, you got a buy signal right here, 250, said sell at 252, right? The 250 divided into 252 equals -1, so you gain 1% there. 1% on 1,000 shares is $1,000 bucks. 1% on, on $100, not bad. You can make a couple dollars there. Okay. So when you're looking at something like AMC, now to place my orders, whenever I place an order, before I do it, I confirm. I look at sentiment down here. I look at the VIX. I look at the S&P 500. I simply use those for my own sentiment on what's going on. But when I look at something like AMC and I say, okay, hit the 50 and the 200 period average on a 3-minute chart. I come down here. This is called the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. And I'm looking for the blue line to cross the red line to determine the uptrend. And look at that. It didn't even wait for the MACD. It gave the buy over here. And it's still on that buy. So let's say I was watching. Now, I've not made any additional trades in AMC today. I don't know that I will. We're right into the power hour right now. But if you take a look at this, my own math, just on a 3-minute chart, and let's say I'm an ape and I'm looking away from the computer. Let's say I hit it on this candle instead of the buy signal. And let's say I hit it right at the middle of the candle. Am I happy right now? Are you happy with a 2.4% gain during the day? Absolutely. So the VWAP is the volume weighted average price. These are 50 and 180 moving averages. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not advising you what to do. I'm just simply for entertainment and education purposes tell you how I look at charts. I also have pivots in there. The reason I have pivots in there is on the highs and the lows in the channels, okay, because we got a nice channel coming down here. This is probably an outlier at 990, but that support level was confirmed over here and confirmed again over here. I can get me a number just like that. I don't have to wait and say, well, let me draw a line. What is this one at? Is it over here? Is it up here? I'm confused. You ain't got to worry about doing that. I can visually look at something right quick. I can check the S&P. I can check the VIX. I can go into the 30-second thing. Okay, I'm good to go there. Looks like an uptrend, well above. It's trading right above the VWAP here. I want to try and make a trade above the VWAP initially, and then I can open up my order book and I can simply click on stock. I can go AMC, 10 shares. I want to buy it on the low because I want to help make the market. And let me scroll this. I gotta get this all the way back. Okay. There we go. So 1026, 1025. So 1026, I'm watching it. 1026. Smart. Let's send it to the NASDAQ. I'll send that over to the NASDAQ. 1026. Buy. Okay. And there we go. So now that order, that's a live order that was basically placed. And positions. Did that not place it? Now 1028, 1027. I don't think that placed. I may not have hit the button. Oops. There's all my positions. Sorry about that. Those are my canceled sell orders from before. Nope. So if I was to buy something, I would simply click the button. But the level 2s over here, that probably would have been an okay place to buy it at 1026. Okay. Let's take a look at the overall markets. I'm going to go back into, we'll take a look at GME and see what's going on here. GameStop is currently down 66 cents, but again, it's bouncing off of its bottom. See how quick I can look at this? $257 and running all the way up to 264, and 265 is where it was at earlier in the day. Let's look at the 3-minute and say, okay, would I buy this right now? Well, it's above VWAP. It's above the 50 and the 200 period average. So I would say from a technical standpoint, I wouldn't be comfortable buying it right now. We're getting close to an overbought position. We have volume over here is not quite exceeding the sell volume over here. We did have good volume here, so this and this could wipe this out, and we could get another run going north here. So that's a possibility. But with that said, here's a caveat. Then I look down here and I say, but the S&P 500 is trading down, and we have the volatility index, the VIX, is heading north. So if the VIX is going up and the S&P is going down and we're on an upswing, in the past, this is when GameStop has done this. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It's like you can scratch your head all day. You can get all your Crayola crayons and start eating them. But sometimes there's just no logic in this. So now let's go back down to the 30 seconds and say, okay, again, I do not look at these lines. I do not look at the green, the red, and the white. Or if you're colorblind, the bottom one is my VWAP, and then we have 50 and 200 period averages. But again, you got the S&P going down, the VIX sliding down just a little bit, the S&P starting to recover a little bit, and there goes GameStop. So like I said, you never know what's going to happen, but it seems like in this last hour or so is when you get the run. Now what that also means is that AMC is probably going to go along with the run, and let's see if they're doing that. Boom, a little bit. Nice, nice, nice. So now I'm on a 30-second chart. So now I'm going to pull back to the 3-minute, and I'm going to say, okay, where we're at on the 3-minute, look, this is what I just talked about, what we got to break through. If we break above these two, then we're heading north again into the 1040s, maybe 1050, 1047, 1058, 1058. You got 3 pivots back here in the pre-market and after the open at 1057. If it can break this, that's where we'll go. However, the S&P 500 still bouncing up there. So let's take a quick look at that. If you look up here, you have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 227. You have the NASDAQ up 337, up a good 2.5%. And then you have the S&P up 46 points. So definitely looking really, really nice there. And 1028, this is a 1-minute chart that I have open on Schwab. And you can see I have multiple positions on my calls. Oh, there I did get filled. All right. So sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm profitable right now. I'm up a penny. I did buy 10 shares of AMC at 1026, and I'm already 2 cents into the green. There you go. To the moon, baby. To the moon. So I did that just as an example of how to do an order. But again, most of all of my juice is in on the calls. So there you go. I personally just bumped this up to 1028. I moved the market with my 10 shares of AMC. And it doesn't matter, folks. If you're buying this 1 share at a time, if you're on Webull or you are on Robin Crooks and you're buying these things 1 share at a time, good for you. You do what you can. Here's a caveat, though. Please be careful. Don't put all of your money into this. And if you've got diapers for the kids' money, if you've got coffee money for Starbucks, put it into the markets. Forget it. Go make your freaking coffee at home. I've got a $1,400 espresso machine downstairs that I bought like 6 years ago. That thing makes bank compared to paying $5 for a coffee at Starbucks. Where do I put that money? I put it back in here. I did, from earlier in the stream, I did go on to the US Mint site earlier, and let's see if, I don't know if it's still going to show me as logged in or not. It's not, that's okay. And what I looked at was the gold proofs came out today, and because I do precious metals as well. And while that's trying to load, nice run here, 1024, moving up. So again, little consolidation here, 1028. If we break through that, oh, I'm down a penny. Where's my sell button? I can't find it. Can't find my sell button. So 1024. So the mint came out today with the gold series, and you can't even buy them. They sold out. I don't know how long it took them to sell out, but even the 1 ounce gold that was released at noon today on the East Coast, $23.75. Again, that's well over spot. So your spot price on gold, I think it was 17 something earlier. That is a gold trust. I don't want that. It's gold. Just type the thing in, Joe. All right, so yeah, 1724. So 1724 divided into 23.75. You are paying a 27% premium, but they don't. But if you look at precious metals and you want to buy precious metals, this Remind Me works really good. You can put in both your email address and a phone number. I would say do both, and then that way you'll get notified when inventory comes back into play. So that's just a side note on that. I do some precious metal stuff as well. Okay, so here we go again. 1024, we bounced up. We hit my average here on the 3 minute. This is why I love my 3 minute chart. I absolutely love my freaking 3 minute chart. It has pretty much not let me down for the most part. Because then I'll go back in, I'll look at 30 seconds and I'll say, okay, where's it at? What's it doing? I'll come over here to my 3 minute. I'll check my MACD. Okay, blue line still above the red. It hasn't broken it yet. Okay, so don't worry about this red candle here. Bulls are still in control. We're above the VWAP. But look at the earlier in the stream. I did talk about the Bollinger Bands. This gray area with this line right here. I know it's tough to see because I have the color set to a certain transparency. But when it narrows, and I gave an example of this from I think earlier in the year. And when this narrows like this and it comes off of a consolidation phase, usually that is a really, really good bullish sign. We already had a MACD convergence confirmation of the blue over the red down here. I try and keep things simple. These are moving averages. And then that basically led into it. But where did my system say? My system said, buy it over here. Look at that. I've got a buy signal right here. And let's say you missed that candle and you picked it up at $9.99. You know, you're up pretty good right now, right? Buy 10.22. So you're up a little bit there. So not bad. Down candle here again. It retested this. So now we're battling it out. There's a cross. So on the 3 minute we had a cross. So now if I go over to the 30-second, it's going to show south, and there's our south. So on that cross, it'll confirm a little bit later than it would on a 30-second. I would have been watching this one. I don't necessarily pay attention to the buy signals on here. Sometimes I will pay attention on the sell signal if the sells are greater than the buys, which here they're not. But so now what we're going to do is I want to take a quick look, and the S&P, that's heading down. The VIX is heading up 21.8. The S&P is at 30. What are we at? 39.43. Still up on the day. Now this is from earlier. I'm going to click on this heat map. And this is going to show the change from, what time was it? So almost 3.5 hours ago. So 3.5 hours ago, watch these colors change. Not a big difference, right? So we had a pretty flat lunchtime, which is great. That's really what we like to see. Oracle down. Somebody was asking me off chat, and they said, hey, what do you think of Oracle? And, you know, Oracle's down 5.84%. I think that would be an okay place to pick that up. Not a bad price if we take a quick look at that. And again, the SP is starting to head south a little bit. Let me go out to my 3 minute. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to take a look at my 3-minute, my 5-minute, and my 1-day chart. Nice upswing here. Had a buy signal on a 5-minute at 66. I'm going to come back over here to the 3-minute. I've got barely a blue line coming across, so it looks like it's starting to break back out. Better buy would have been down here at 66.98, so about $1 less. But this would be a momentum play. Anytime you're above VWAP 50 and 200 period average, that's a momentum play. So not bad. I don't own any shares, but I wouldn't have a problem if you like the stock and you've done due diligence on it. It might not be a bad one to go. All right, your MACD just gave a sell indicator. Okay, yeah, probably when it crossed, when AMC just crossed, right? So depending on how long, I think. So you look, dude, I got so many different things I look at. I've got them all over here, and a lot of them aren't turned on because depending on what I'm doing, if I'm looking at cryptocurrencies, or I'm looking at commodities, or I'm looking at options, I've got different indicators I use as confirmations before I place an order, especially if it's a somewhat decent sized order, we'll say $10,000 or more. I dig a little bit deeper, but long term, I like the stock. Okay, so before, my resistance my support level from earlier today was at this $10.16 level. That's what I put in the Reddit chat. I think somebody actually made a play on that too, and they had bought some shares based on that. So now we're looking at, okay, is there new support? Not really in Power Hour. So in Power Hour, it's basically everybody's taking the gloves off. They don't know necessarily what they're going to do. You had yours on your 3-minute chart, you said, on the MACD. So yep, it crossed right here at right about 3 minutes ago is where it crossed. But on the 30-second chart, it gave the indicator a few bars before that. Or no, actually right at the right time. So how can you front run this? This is where the risk comes in, folks. If you're looking to make a trade and say, hey, my MACD lines up, my 5200 or 5180 in my case move up, my VWAP, volume weighted average price on the green line, that moves up, my Bollinger Bands are skinny, what do I do? You can try front running the MACD. The MACD, in my absolutely amateur opinion, is one of the best indicators for confirmations of your due diligence and your research on whether you want to invest in a company. If you're scalping and you're day trading like me, pattern day trading, I tend to not make a lot of orders during the streams. Usually if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll look at some charts and make some buys in the pre-market. But again, that's a little bit more risky. But if you're looking at the MACD, look at this down here. You can see on AMC at 12:09. So 10 minutes ago, it turned, didn't it? And it turned, and it turned, and it crossed. So this is 30 seconds. So you had about a minute and a half to make a decision on whether the angle on this MACD was a buy or not. But look what's happening now. So now we're on a 30-second consolidation. Let's look at the buys. Okay. Still on a sell indicator over here. So I don't have confirmation. Blue is still below the red. However, look at the volume. The sell volume is less than the buy volume. So now let's look at the level twos. So now we're at 1021. Look at these sells coming in. 1021, 1021, 1021. All at 1021. All these orders. These are all, hey, sell my stuff over here. This is, I'm sorry, 1022 by 1021. So if you're selling it, they're selling them at 1021. They're buying them at 1022. That's the bid ask. So when I look at buying something, I actually do it opposite. I'll put in my order at 1021. If I'm looking to sell it, I'll put it at 1022 on Charles Schwab Street Smart Edge. That actually gives me a discount on my trading fees that I pay. Okay, so I'm losing my shirt right now. I bought those 10 shares at I'm down 60 cents. I don't know what to do. Paper hands. Maybe I should sell. I just sell all. I actually do have, here's something interesting I'll show you. Nope, that's not what I want. Where are they at here? Check this out. So I have multiple hotkeys set up as F numbers, and buy 1,000, sell 1,000, sell short, different things set up that I can do based on what my settings are. I haven't used those in a little while. If I'm scalping, which means I want to get in and out of something, I can say, hey, sell those 200 on the ask, or hey, sell them on the bid, or buy them on the bid, or buy them on the ask. None of them are market orders, but everything I do is basically done on those. Okay. So now we got a little bit of green coming back in here. 1022 by 1023. We have the NASDAQ holding on to its gains. It's up 343 points, so 2.6%. S&P is up 1.2%, up 46 points. The Dow is up 0.75%, or 230 or 238. All right, let's go back into the other 30-second chart. See where we're at here. So again, a widening Bollinger Band. That can equal a little bit of risk. Again, a little, sell volume is not exceeding, and that's why we're just consolidating right now. Oops. So 1026. That looks pretty good. Hey, this is good news, folks. GameStop down 21 cents again. Pretty much a completely flat day. It was range bound pretty much all day from about 248 up to about 268 on GameStop. And I'm up 3.11% on the day, all my stuff. Let's see here. So this looks pretty good. 1027. So again, it's probably gonna go right back up to here, 1033 or so, before it makes a decision on what it's gonna do. Now we got an up. There we go. There's the pop. Now we got to break above this 1031 level. Like to see the wicks going up. Basically higher lows, higher highs, at least on the 30-second side, right? On the 3-minute, it's going to look really nice. There you go. That looks really good. Above the VWAP here, we have now, on the upside, if you have a Bollinger Band that's starting to shrink on a consolidation phase, actually, good news. So we may have triggered, we may have hit an upside trend here, at least short term. So again, the sellers that you have do not equal the buyers that you have. So there's more buying pressure here in this last 35 minutes or so. So back to the 30-second. One red doji does not indicate a trend. Not on a 30-second chart. Only on in my opinion, a 3-minute or greater. And a lot of people trade on the 1 minute too. I don't, because in a consolidation phase, it'll flatline like that, where with a 3-minute, I can get a much better, look at the difference there. Look at this. This is the whole day. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Now look at the 1 minute. How are you gonna trade on that? How are you gonna use that? How are you gonna use any type of indicator on a 1 minute chart when it looks like this? You're not. This is why I use this time frame, but that's just me. Okay. Okay. Still looking decent here on the 3-minute. Told you these two didn't really mean much. Not with the volume they were at. But again, we don't have super duper volume here. I can make the volume look better. Look, that looks much better, right? Here, watch this. 1 second charts. See if you can keep up. Look at all the panic buying and selling you would do if you had a 1 second chart like I do. This is every second. Every second equals a bar. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You can't enter orders that quick. It's fun to watch though. Doesn't indicate anything in terms of what's going on other than a pop. There's a nice little pop. Let's go back to the 30-second. There you go. Again, where do we got to hit? What did I say earlier? 1031 is what I was looking at. So that looks pretty good. All right, let's look at some other ones here. AMD. AMD made a nice run today. I lost over $10,000 in AMD. I made it all back. I made it all back in NVIDIA. But I lost about $10,000 on AMD. I had quite a bit invested in it. I won't tell you the exact dollar amount, but it was quite a bit. And this is a $105 stock. It's probably looking at an $84 stock. Might go there tomorrow. I don't know. They got a presentation on Sunday. Every time they do a presentation, every time Sue, the CEO, every time she comes out and speak, she's got monotone. I love the stock. I wish the management team could find somebody exciting to talk about the stock like Aaron does on AMC. But the chip makers basically having a really nice day today. Intel is up as well. NVIDIA is up. My pharma. My 9 meters biopharma. Go, go, go. 7.5%. Yeah. I love it. My Iterum, that's up a little bit. Sorry, I digress. NVIDIA up 22.56, 521. Again, I've got 540 calls set to expire, which is another 4%. 521 divided into 540. I need 4% more for my calls to go back in the money there on NVIDIA. And then Tesla, let's do Tesla first, 3083. Here's a nice, I know a lot of you guys look at Tesla too, so let's take a look at the three minute on Tesla. It's at 698. I sold this back in December for 663. I missed the run up to 900. I think Ford is going to take their market share. I just believe it. Don't kill me. Don't leave the chat because that's what I believe, but that's what my DD tells me in the research. But it looks good. Great. If you picked it up down here at 670 earlier today, well done, well done. Let's take a look at the 1 hour, and I'm going to remove the external, which is the pre and the post market, so I get a better chart. So if it's going to bounce, where's it going to bounce off of? 740. So its next stop up is probably about 740. A little bit tougher to see on this one. Above the 180 and the 50 and the 200, 50 and the 180 day moving average, well above VWAP. 15-minute. I look at multiples, and then I would look over here and say, well, the VIX is going up. The S&P is starting to go up a little bit, but it's settling down into consolidation. Would I buy it right here? Where's my confirmation? Tells me it's oversold. It's above the VWAP, which is momentum towards the end of the day. That's not bad. But buy on the rumor, sell on the news. What are we looking at tomorrow? Right? Stimulus is signed. Checks are going to go out. The IRS is getting those ready to go. Family of four is going to get $5,600 if their income is under $150,000 a year. Okay, a family of one is going to get $1,400. I get zero. So enjoy your checks. Put them into something strong. And there's something that if you're making profits on this stuff, do yourself a favor. Take 10% of your profits and put it in either into another asset class or buy something long-term, lock it up, and leave it alone. So let's say you make $100. Take $10, buy a fractional share of your favorite company you think is going to do good. Okay. If you make $1,000, take $100, put it into a long-term stock that you think you're going to own for maybe 20 years from now. Okay. So make sure your portfolio, you're taking gains and putting them into something long-term so that you can improve your financial future. That's what I did. Okay, so NVIDIA going up here. Let's take another look. AMC, 1029. I want to go back into the level 2. Again, it's 3 minute. So exceeded 1, but look where it bounced. Right off the top of that thing. 2 times, 1044, 1038, bounce, resistance. But the bulls are still in control. Bulls are still in control. So that's why that 3 minute works. It works for me. It may not work for you. So nice little uptrend here. This is actually on this 30-second. That looks pretty good. That's not bad. So definitely the bulls are in control today. We're up 4.25% on AMC, and that means we're beating the market. Let's see what the competition is doing real quick here. We got 30 minutes left. And what's going to be coming up on the stream is we're going to look at the buy side or sell side imbalances at 10 minutes before close. That's when those are released. That's when the New York Stock Exchange says, hey, we got, what was it yesterday on AMC? 66,000 shares buy side imbalance on the shares. And you say, what is a buy side imbalance? Buy side stock imbalance. I can't spell, but that's okay. Should hopefully find it anyway. Order imbalance. Click on Investopedia. We'll make this bigger. An order imbalance is a situation resulting from an excess of buy or sell orders for a security on a trading exchange, making it impossible to match the orders of buyers and sellers. So it's impossible to match the orders of buyers and sellers. So for securities that are overseen by a market maker, shares may be brought in from a specified reserve to add liquidity. Market makers, they are the ones responsible. Their entire life requirement is to make the market. They are there to provide liquidity in the market. So when you get an order imbalance, whether it's on the buy or the sell side, that market maker has to come up, provide the liquidity into the market, and settle those shares. Okay, so that's what those are. So now we go over here and we look at the level 2s, and we look at the time and sales. So these are sales over here. So the red is the 1024s. Gray is dark pool. Those are going to be decimals, and you'll see decimals up here on where they're at. These are the absolute last trades that happen. This doesn't tell you if it's a buy or a sell order. Over here, it tells you if it's a buy or a sell, other than the dark pool. Dark pool doesn't tell you diddly, unfortunately. So again, we're back to this 1024, 1025. I need 1027. I bought those 10 shares at 1026. Come on, market. Moon soon. I'm not selling them. I'm not selling. I ain't leaving. I ain't freaking leaving. They're going to need a wrecking ball to get me out of here. They're going to need to call in the frickin' SWAT team. Great movie, by the way. Hey, have any of you guys seen the movie Margin Call? It is hilarious. It's about the mortgage-backed securities, the MBS thing from 2008. They crashed the entire economic system of the world, sent Greece into bankruptcy basically, and put millions of people out of their homes. Millions of people lost their jobs, all because of people like the hedge funds and The Big Short and stuff too. So two good movies there, The Big Short and Margin Call. If you haven't seen them yet, watch them. They're enjoyable movies to watch. Margin Call. That movie will educate you about what the short sellers are doing and what they've done to these stocks. Okay. So here we go. 1027, 1028. Profitable. Should I sell my 10 shares? I ain't gonna do it. Keeping them. I might keep those forever. Who knows? I bought 10 shares at 1026. What did I put into it? $102. That's a little bit less than dozens of thousands I have into those AMC calls that I bought. So there you go. So just as a reminder that the call, I've got 10 shares. I've got 10 shares at 1026, and then I've got options. I've got 2 of them. I've got 15 calls for April 16th at 8, and I've got 30 calls at I don't think it's going to show. Where are my 30s? Doesn't show. I've got 30 calls at why doesn't it show down here? What if I go to a 5-minute? Anyway, I've got 30. It shows the 2 down there. I've got 30 calls at $4 expiring next Friday on the 19th. So 30 calls, strike price $4, calls on the 19th, and then 15 calls for April 16th at $8. So in the money, basically in the money calls. I did pay premium for those, so I need the stock price to be above 4. I need the stock price to be above 8, and because I did pay a premium to get those. But it's just my preference for the in the monies. Those make sense to me a little bit. If you guys have any questions in the chat, or if you want to see a very little quick D&D on another stock, you can feel free to throw a symbol in there, either on YouTube or on Twitch, and I'll be happy to answer a question if you have. So order imbalances, back to that real quick. So order imbalances are something that if there's the market maker has to settle that trade. That's their job. We didn't go back to the mint thing. Oh yeah, we did. Those are basically sold out. Boom, just like that. This was the stuff on the earnings. We covered that this morning. Fair and Greed. We went down 1% according to CNN. Screw you. Thursday, we did have the initial jobless claims were a little bit better than expected. Those came out at 5:30 this morning, Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. 712 versus 25, so 13,000 job improvement. But again, still 712,000 first-time claims. 712,000 people lost their job last week. That's what that means. Okay. And then continuing jobless claims, 4.14 million. That's down a little bit from the previous. And then we have last week's. Who cares? Nothing scheduled for the 19th. And tomorrow we have the PPI coming out on demand. The expectation is at 0.5%. And then the Consumer Sentiment Index preliminary, UMISH, 78.9. We'll see what that comes out at as well, but that'll be for tomorrow. Heat map check. Okay, a little brighter. I look at this. I look at this thing on there, and where's it at? It's nope, it's over here. I look at this chart over here, and I look at the it's on FinViz. Let me scroll that down so we see all of them. There we go. I look at this thing, and I look for color changes. I'll get confirmations on the S&P 500 and the VIX over here. But then I'll look over here and I'll say, hey, what industry is hot? Okay, financials are getting beat up today. Energy is getting beat up a little bit today. Google, Facebook are up. Amazon, Tesla's up 4.3. Microsoft is up. Apple is up. NVIDIA up 520. I love that 520. If we can close above 520, I've got a chance for 540 next week. AMD, big move on AMD today, up 5%, but settled into a little bit of a channel. So this is on finviz.com, and you can go there, and you can do this for S&P 500. You can choose a whole bunch of different ones that the heat maps. I just like using that one. Just get a quick look at what sectors are doing better. But what was interesting was, check this out. Wait, one second. Where are we at? ExxonMobil down 0.69%. Chevron down 0.21%. Okay. You guys know I like oil if you've been on the stream. Oil is up $1.63 a barrel. My ETF is up 77 cents. That darn thing is up 1.76% today. Would I buy it? I'm already too deep into it. It's running the VWAP. Anytime you have an ETF or a stock running, what I call running the VWAP and staying above its 50 and 200, that's a really good sign for a continuing trend. So again, if you're new here, I have my target. I have an alert set so that my computer goes off and my phone goes off. My email goes off at $70 on U.S. oil. And that's an ETF, so be careful. If you're buying an ETF in your taxable account, this is not taxable advice. But you will get a K1, which means I am responsible for paying my capital gains on U.S. oil, whether they are realized or unrealized capital gains. So I'm taxed either way. I have to pay the tax man on it. But it looks good. Our Rocket had a nice was up to 27.84. It hit a high today. I exited out of that yesterday because I already captured my dividend. Let's go Tesla real quick. Tesla staying. It looks like it's a little battle here for 700 tomorrow on the setup. GameStop or Ethereum. Hold on. Ethereum 1800. That's good. BTC Bitcoin 57,000. And AMC 1026. It's exactly what I paid for it. What's going on? How can this be at 1026? My 10 shares that I bought over here somewhere. All right, 30 seconds. Okay. Running the 30-second VWAP. It's running along here. And again, now we've got the S&P turning. That's going up, right? Look at the bottom. The VIX is going down. There's your sentiment. And you can see how these track to each other. And it just gives me a quick visual of what's going on. Again, MACD down here. I've got my RSI as well. You can look at that, but I'm looking for oversold, overbought conditions, and we're on the low end here. That's actually good news. But on the 3-minute, not breaking the oversold, not breaking the overbought. But look what happened over here. It did go up here, overbought, and that was about an hour or so ago. But this is looking 1029, sets up a good battle. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that we did not this stuff over here. This does not concern me at all anymore because that's done. But as far as volume, we had low volume today. So 78 million shares off of 152. We started out really strong, but that was sellers coming in, and then the buyers came in. So 78 divided into 152. So yeah, I don't know why I did that. We're right about half the volume. Okay, GameStop down 246, and it's barely trading. It's trading about 43%. 26 divided into 58. 45% of its average daily volume is what GameStop is trading today. So low volume day on those. Now take a look at your runners. AMD, watch this. 39 to 47. So 60% volume. Microsoft, they were up today too. I got some Microsoft calls too. 237, so 20 million out of 34. NVIDIA, 50% volume. 521, that looks good. Yay. What are my farmers doing real quick here? This might be the last time I look at these today. I'm up 13 cents, 8% on that one. And I own the stock on this one. I also own some call options. And then Iterum, that was Niner Farmer. And then that one's up 9% today. So yay me. All right, so AMC up 1027 now. Again, it keeps bouncing on this 3-minute. Keeps hitting this line and coming back down. Hey, what happened to the music? Get that back on. All right, time and sales. Did I just show balances? No, I didn't. All right. So 1026 again. Yeah, those 10 shares are basically a donation to the cause at 1026. I normally would not have bought those at that price point. I would have waited for a dip, but for $100, I'll show the example of how I do things. All right, so 1027 by 1028. We have the grays. The grays are going to be the dark pools. Those are going to be your institutional. There's a big sell going in there. But again, the selling volume is not exceeding. You know, you're just having a little battle here towards the end is what you got going on here. So nothing out of the ordinary. This happens quite often, but we'll see if they're going to try and drive it down a little bit today. Back down into the 10 or into the 9s. Initially, it doesn't look that way, and I would be very, very surprised if there were a significant amount of buy-side imbalance like we had yesterday. That was a lot of shares for this company on the buy side that there was an imbalance on. I don't know. We'll get that information in about 5 minutes. And that information I'll be able to show you because it's going to show up here in this box over here. So this is where, oops, where's my mouse? I have to take it to the other monitor. So my news will show up here. So if there's a buy-side imbalance, it'll show up under the news code. And I can choose all kinds of different news codes. I can get sources from wherever I want. This is all the different sources I can choose on news as part of my breakdown. So I've got a few programmed in there. And mainly give me just the basics that if I need to go in and do other research, I can. Okay, so the S&P 500, again, you know, significantly trading down since over the last hour here. Is it consolidating here for a close? It looks that way, at least initially. Dow, well off of its high of the day, up 223 now. However, the NASDAQ holding on to its gains, up 2.57%, up 336, and the S&P up a little over 1%, holding on to its gains as well. So it looks like the battle is for 1027. It's for this 1030. Let's go into the 30-second, and we'll bring this one. Home. I do want to check NVIDIA right quick. Man, that's a nice day. That is a nice look. Look at this. Rode the line. Super, super day. Love that chart. Love that chart. Okay, I'm done with that one. All right, AMC 1029. And let's see if I'm holding on to my gains overall here. So this is good. This is good stuff. 3 minute. You know, lower volume. And that's, like I said, that's completely normal. It's not a Friday. You got options expiring tomorrow, but you don't have a lot of them. All right, so now I'm only up 3.12% on the day overall, all my stuff overall. And if I'm up, depending on what it is, now what's going to happen tomorrow, we'll see. On the Dow, you know, you are just about at 52-week highs, 32,661. It broke a new high today, so you're at 52-week highs on the Dow. Does that mean we might get a pullback tomorrow before the battles next week for monthly for quadruple option expiration? Nasdaq still off of its high, so let's see here. 134 divided into 141, and so we're 5% off of its 52-week high on the Nasdaq. And the S&P, however, because the tech sold off, we know that. Kathy Wood told us that earlier in the week. And 2 minutes until buy-side imbalance. And there's the S&P index up 42. So good day there all around. Hey, it's a green day. Anytime we get a green day, we'll take it. GameStop down 224 again. Range bound in the 260s, high 250s and 260s. Pretty much all day long, except for the drop at the well, that was yesterday. Where are we at here? 11th. You know, pretty much stayed in this range all day. Low volume, nowhere close on a volume. 26 million shares traded on an average volume of 58 million shares on an $18 billion float or market cap. Sorry, AMC on a $3.8 billion market cap, 79 million shares traded out of 152. Okay, so now we'll see if what do we got here? 1249. About 20 seconds here until the buy side, sell side stuff is released. And let's go back to the 30-second chart. And this is very orderly. It would shock me a little bit to see if we have any kind of a buy or sell side indicator coming up here. It looks like we're done for the day here. Low volume, not much else kicking in. Yeah, nothing there. Let's check my NVIDIA. Nothing on them. GME. So it might take a minute or so for those to show up, if there are any. Here we go. We got another one. Surprising. Wow. Here you go. 213,822. So let me get that. I'm going to type that into the chat. Buy side over on Reddit. And what is that? 213,822. 213,822. Okay, so on the buy side, when you have 213,000 shares, as we talked about earlier, that means the market maker has to provide the liquidity and come up with those shares. Okay, so that's what that means. They have to provide the liquidity in the market. So now we're at 1029, and there's a little upswing. Anytime a buy side imbalance, some people look at that and they will make buy orders based on that. because it says, hey, we've got a buy side imbalance, which means they have an over allocation of buy orders to match up with the sell orders that are available, and it's not an efficient market at that point. So normally that would include a little bit of a bump depending on the amount. I think yesterday, I forget what it was. I don't remember if it was it 66,000 shares? So we have 5 times or 4 times the amount of shares, 3 times the amount of shares, about 3.5 times the amount of shares buy side imbalance as we did yesterday. And it's on the buy side. So typically, let's see what happened yesterday. Oops, sorry, let me go in the 5-minute. And my external. And you can see yesterday, buy side imbalance led to a jump of 11. Well, no, that was because of earnings. Wasn't because of the buy side imbalance. So we'll see what happens today. But 10:30, that's looking good. And yay, my 10 shares I bought today at 10.26. It's the only order I put in today. $10.26, 10 shares. So buy side imbalance is going to equal a rise today. So that's good. 10.31. Don't see any significant sell orders here. Dark pool stuff. Little red, little green. There's some green. There we go. That's going to pop in another penny. Yep, 10.33 now. Let's see if that battles a little bit on the says I've been active the last hour. This is active. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So 10.33. Now some sells coming in, driving it back down to 10.32. And this is you'll be able to watch this tomorrow, especially towards the close. So I appreciate y'all coming into the stream. Definitely really appreciate it. If you want to give me a follow, that would be awesome. Also, Fixium Wayland 81 has followed me. That was from yesterday. If you're new in here today, Night of Insomnia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that as well. Halo, if you're back in here, and Echo Charlie 78, thank you for the follows as well. If you haven't followed me, feel free to put it on there. You don't have to have notification. I go over a lot of other stuff, real estate. I go into making income streams. Sometimes we'll do that when this AMC stuff settles down a little bit. 7 minutes left till close, and we're still hanging out at this 10.32 level. So completely flat over the last hour or so. You know, not completely, but pretty much a little bit there. And I'm up 55 cents, folks. I'm up 60 cents. Should I sell it? Should I take my profit? No, because all my money's tied up in long calls in the money down there. So there we go. All right, so 10.32. I'm going to take a quick look at a couple of these other things here, see what's going on. I'm going to look at the big movers on the day. I'm up here in the top right, and my look at Workhorse, 9.85% today. That one went up pretty good. The first two, Iterum and 9 meters, or not 9 meters. Yeah, 9 meters Biopharma. Those are two pharmaceuticals that I'm into. I've got $2 calls that expire next week on there. Palantir heading up a little bit too. 5 minutes left till market close. Let's see here. Tesla up 4.86%. AMC 10.33. We'll take it. AMD 81.24 up 4.79. NVIDIA. Bitcoin. Oil. Hello, oil. Microsoft. All my stuff is up today, with the exception of Ford. I think Ford is the only thing I own in any of my accounts that are down today. Yeah, down 11 cents. 0.81%. I don't care. You know why I don't care? That's why I don't care. I am way down here. Bought some more in September, October, and rode it all the way up. All right. Here we go. Okay, 10.28. Hey, back to the 30-second. Heat map. Last check on that. Looking good there. And close the economic calendar. Don't care about the fear and greed factor. I do want to do this. I scratch myself a quick note. All right, so definitely a good day for AMC today, up a little up over 4% on the day. Heading south here just a little bit towards the end of the day here. Not anything to worry about. Back down to the 1026. Again, on my 3-minute, what's it bouncing off of? You've seen it before. Oop, that's the 1 minute. I don't pay any attention to that one anymore. Right up to the resistance on the 50 and 200 period average, and that's based on just the opening today. But we're up on the day. We're up 41 cents, very low volume. We're probably going to have low volume again tomorrow. I would be absolutely shocked and surprised if we get any volume of any substance tomorrow. Would really surprise me. I do want to go into let's see here. Here we go. And $10.27 up 4%. So super balanced day. Very good. And all right, let's take another look here. 10.27. Let's look at GameStop real quick. GameStop heading south a little bit. Just a little on the 3-minute. Little sell off here at the end. So there you go. What we need, I would love for AMC to disconnect from GameStop. But the fact that GameStop's hanging out in the 250 level, good for them. And if any of you guys are holding bags on those, you know, was the 348 yesterday your opportunity to get out? Should you have gotten out? I don't know. I like AMC better than GameStop as a long-term buy. 1025. Let's go to 30-second chart. A little bit of a sell-off going on there. 1021. Losing money. I'm losing my shirt. 6 cents down. So a little bit of selling pressure here at the end. There's some buys coming in at 24. Now 25. Up to 26. Probably back down to 25. Looking good. Hey, that's a pretty good day, folks. All right, so we have countdown to the bell here. We've got about 50 seconds here, or 45 seconds left here on the day. 1024. This will tell you sentiment in a heartbeat. But look at the S&P again, but significant, you know, downside, and the VIX going up 21.9, peaking out at 21.9. 20 seconds left in the market. Ten seconds left in the market. Dun dun dun. Come on, stay at 26. Stay at 26. Keep me profitable on the day. 1027. I win. I just won the entire internet. Look, the 10 shares I bought to show how I make an order and what I look at are at 1026. Yes, I made 20 cents. That's a win. Hey, great job today. We held it. We held the fort. 1028. We closed at. So that is certainly great news on the stock there, and already into the aftermarket. Remember what we talked about? Let me go. Yeah, we're in the 30 seconds. So now we're in the post market. This is going to take a minute before it catches up and starts posting where it's at. But 1028 on the close. Very nice finish for AMC. And then we can flip over and say, okay, well, what are the futures doing? And then we can sit there and watch those. So 1028 on AMC. GameStop ended up at 260 on the button, down exactly $5. How does that happen? 260 down $5. 257 down $3. in the post market. So what are we doing in the post market? We're doing what we normally do in post market. We're going to hopefully start to go up again. So the buy side imbalance was there, and so that turned out pretty well too. Let's see here. What do I want to do? All right. Any other last questions here on anything else going on? And let me see. I want to look at something here. I could dump you guys into Code Miko's channel. Yeah, why not? We'll go over there. All right, so I'm gonna send you all over to Code Miko's channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you like to follow, if you like what you saw on the stream today, be sure to follow. Be nice when you go over there. It's only a few of you guys, but if you haven't seen Code Miko, she has an avatar, and then she wears gloves and I think some kind of helmet type thing, and it's just hilarious what she does. And then she'll do cooking and some other stuff. So thanks for streaming in. We'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be on air again a half an hour before the markets open. Have yourself a great day. Smokey, thanks for hanging out. Rice, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all later. Enjoy the raid. Enjoy Code Miko. She probably won't even notice that we show up. Bye now.